Spurs. It's a little bit of a circus just now, isn't it? It's a tough time to be a Tottenham fan.
Deary me. I don't think I've seen in my times like it at Spurs. They got that wonderful new stadium, absolutely state of the art, and struggling to find a manager who's going to help them compete.
It's been over 6 weeks now since Jose Mourinho was sacked.
Strange time that was.
Very strange time now, wondering why they even bothered. You would have thought, sack him if you know who's coming in. But now looking back, it just all seemed for nothing.
I didn't think they wanted him to win a trophy, because if he'd have won that final,
puts one under pressure a little bit more. I was doing Jim's show on Friday when the news sort of broke-ish, where Antonio, and they said to me, as an Arsenal fan, you worried? I said, absolutely. If Antonio Conte goes to any club, you can't guarantee winning titles, but you can guarantee that you'll be competitive to win titles with him. And you look at his track, even when he went and did his apprenticeship in Serie B with Barry, he won the title with them. Then he wins the title with Juve. Then he wins the title with Chelsea. Then he goes back and wins the title with Inter Milan to stop Juve winning 10 on the spin. If you look at his track record when he's in charge of Italy, they improved and went out in the quarterfinals of the Euros, I think it was, on penalties to Germany. So he improves every team. And I think it was Graham Roberts there going, well, coming to Spurs, I don't think Spurs fans don't think that's a good fit. Trust me, if you get someone like him, you are getting one of the top 5 managers in the world. But the problem Spurs have, and I said on Friday, was that, one, he'd want not necessarily a load of money for himself, which he would, but a big transfer budget to go and get the players that he wants. He wants to bring his own staff in as well, and he wouldn't be in control of recruitment. Now, Daniel Levy isn't going to let anybody have that much power, and I think he had too much ambition for Spurs.
I mean, what about even looking at Pochettino, that chat that he was coming back? Now it's looking like PSG will not release him. It really is not going anywhere fast at the moment. A lot of the papers covering today that they're now going to make a fresh move for Ajax boss Erik ten Hag after talks with Antonio Conte collapsed on Friday. Do you think he could be the man for the job?
He's got a good track record at Ajax, but we had Frank de Boer going at Crystal Palace. That didn't go particularly well. I must admit, I would be loath. I hope they do, because obviously I want Spurs to really struggle. And as Ollie said there, because
how do you really feel, Perry?
And Spurs fans be the same as Arsenal. Of course you do, right?
Of course,
you're going to have your best player leaving, and then it's going to be harder to recruit players there. Can you imagine, Ollie, a manager coming in who has no Premier League experience coming from?
I think that would be a terrible mistake if they do that. Even if the fellas won things in the past, what you've got to do is their team, they turn up and play whenever they fancy it. Mourinho tried to calm down, but how many times did he say it? He wasn't as aggressive as he's always been, but I don't blame him for being aggressive, because if your footballers aren't earning their money every second of every day, then you should be able to tell them exactly what you think and say it out in the press, because that's what they should be doing. Now, Tottenham, for me, have underachieved for so long now is ridiculous. And they're going to lose their best, one of their own, Harry Kane, because of it. Where's the ambition? Building a stadium doesn't show ambition, in my opinion. You should build the team first, and then the team will get your stadium built.
See, I think Daniel Levy's got a lot to answer on the Pochettino subject, because Pochettino did make that team a lot better. He did make them competitive. He got the best out of players. Look at Dele Alli, and he made Spurs unspursy for that sort of 3-4 year period of time.
Yeah, they pressed
and they played the pressing game. But then when he wanted Daniel Levy's back in, and it was more about getting players out than getting players in. There was Danny Rose, he wanted him gone, he wanted Alderweireld gone, he wanted Eriksen gone at that time, and Daniel Levy didn't back him, and you saw the sort of the way that Pochettino deteriorated in that last sort of 6 to 8 months. You could tell that he just was fed up of all the infighting, that he'd lost his mojo, and he's lost that enthusiasm. So I think he was let down then by Daniel Levy. Now this is a mess that's been created. Spurs aren't going to get a top quality manager. They're going to get another manager that's probably, like a league down from the best. Bit like Arsenal with Arteta, a little bit cheaper, and you're taking a gamble to see if it's going to work. this is a huge project at Tottenham Hotspur Football Club at the moment. And to put a manager in there who doesn't have much experience, and the change of squad, and how much budget is he going to be given? Because like Arsenal, for Arsenal to be competitive, to get back, Arsenal needs 150 million pounds spent on that team. Spurs are exactly the same. Yeah. They're in exactly the same boat. So the Conte thing, which I'm pleased with now, because I just knew that Daniel Levy wouldn't push the boat out for that amount of money. And they're talking about, promoting youngsters from like the academy, they want the Spurs way. And one of the clips there said Conte goes in for 2 years, 2.5, 3 years, then gets the ump with the hierarchy because he wants even more control. But in that 2-3 year period, or 2-3 seasons, he'll win you something. You're going to get results with him. So I'm pleased as an Arsenal fan it's not going to happen. But as Spurs fans, they would be like, no, don't toy like with Daniel Levy. Don't play lip service. Do you know what I mean? Don't like toy with us.
Yeah, but where's Daniel going to find someone with the potential to become a top boss like Pochettino had? And the only thing that's stopping Pochettino is he hasn't won anything yet. So, the problem was that it was going the right way until Daniel decided, nah, I don't agree with you about
I'm
those
not backing
players.
you. Exactly, yeah.
And that's what has happened. So who's going to want to take that job? And I'm being brutally honest with you. In England, I don't think too many would.
There's a manager, Lille's ex-manager, Christophe Gaultier, who's resigned. They've won the title, haven't they, this year in Ligue 1, and he's resigned, hasn't he? Thought that's as far as I can take you. And he has a reputation of bringing younger players through. So it might be that's the direction that, Daniel Levy goes in, with someone who's got that track record, albeit in a different league. But that's what Ollie said there, and I said that's a huge gamble for no one that knows the league.
Spurs fans, you need to let us know how you're feeling today with all of this drama surrounding the manager.